This is an ABC Action News special. Quest for the Cup.
Proudly brought to you by Millionaire Air Conditioning and Heating, Hungry Howie's Flavored Crust Pizza, and Achieva Credit Union.
Have we faced a ton of adversity this year? We haven't. This is a, 5-alarm fire. But it's adversity. I don't know, sometimes that's good.
And we'll see if that's good coming up here in Game 3. We're just 20 minutes away. Hello and welcome inside Quest of the Cup. John Sable alongside Brandon Baylor.
And I'm Brandon Baylor. We're here in North Straub Park in St. Pete where the official watch party is. And as you can see behind us, the fans are really picking up. They're excited. Hopefully, John, a Game 3 win to kind of get back in this series a little bit.
Yeah, great night to be out here across the water. We got fans out here packing up, and hopefully we see a Lightning victory. So before we get started with our pregame show, we want to welcome everyone tuning in and watching on our free ABC Action News apps on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV, plus our friends watching on abcactionnews.com, along with our ABC Action News Facebook page and YouTube channel. All right, let's get right into this. The biggest developments here in the last 36 hours in the last 5 minutes. First, Nikita Kucherov suspended tonight. That we knew. We'll talk about that for just a moment, but also breaking news just moments ago. We know Victor Hedman, Brandon, will not play tonight. Yeah,
he's been battling that upper body injury. Of course, we saw that in Game 2 and Game 1. They kind of attacked him a little bit. Of course, he's not the same, so he's not going to be on that ice tonight at least.
Yeah, you're losing two big stars, but the Kucherov one is arguably could be worse.
Well, that's your best player. And Kucherov knew exactly in the last 4 minutes, that 5-minute penalty, suspension now. With that frustration building up, of course, him not being able to do what he did in the past, now you see this affecting the team. With him not on the ice, this affects the team, their offense, and one thing that hasn't been going the last couple of games.
Yeah, an unacceptable move right here by Kucherov, hitting Marcus Nutavera there the last few moments of the Game 2 rather, in the third period. And now he will not be playing tonight. Victor Hedman will not be playing either. But now the reaction does nothing but just hurt this team, Brandon. And now we're probably going to look at a Ryan Callahan to maybe move in that spot. So we'll kind of see where this goes with the line adjustments with John Cooper.
So the question is, where do we go from here? Where does this team go from here? Of course, down 0-2. It doesn't happen too often, a team that's won the President Cup. What's next for?
The Lightning getting outscored 9-4 in the first two games in Tampa at Amalie Arena. They're both struggling on the power play, just struggling on the basics that have really made them the most dominant team in the NHL when it comes just to crisp passing, skating up on the ice, getting to loose pucks. The things that made the Lightning as dominant as they've been have been really non-existent in the first two periods. And now the frustration is building into Game 3, and the collapse, hopefully it doesn't happen, but they could take away all this pressure if they win tonight in Game 3 in Columbus.
Just when you think this series couldn't have gotten any worse for the Lightning, it did on Friday night. The Blue Jackets blew out the Bolts 5-1 to take a 2-0 series lead.
We're in a hole. We're in a tough position, but I mean, we're not going to quit. We got to take a page out of their book and go on the road and win a hockey game. We just got to focus on Game 3.
We got a good group in this room, and we did a lot of good things in the regular season, and we know what to do to win, and just got to bring that to Game 3.
And then came the suspension for Nikita Kucherov Saturday morning. The Lightning already struggling to score against the Jackets, now without its top point man for Game 3. But maybe, just maybe, this is what the Bolts need.
Have we faced a ton of adversity this year? We haven't. So now we got some adversity. And teams face this all the time. It's adversity. And I don't know, sometimes that's good.
Either way, the Lightning must find a way to take a game or two in Columbus just to force a Game 5 back in the Bay on Friday.
See, we're not very happy with these two games, but it just takes a good solid effort in Game 3. Hopefully get a win and get us right back in this thing.
History not on the side of the Lightning. In the last 3 postseasons, teams to have a lead of a series of 2-0 in the first round have won 15 out of the last 16 series. The Lightning will now look to end that trend and make more history with a historic comeback beginning tonight in Game 3 in Columbus.
Well, back here live at Straub Park, fans picking up and getting it nicely situated here along the grass here. As you can see, it's going to be a nice watch party. here in downtown St. Petersburg. So if you're around, come on down and watch the Lightning here on the screen and enjoy festivities along with some Lightning fans.
Got a bunch of games here and stuff. A lot of kids. Look, the grass is turning blue, so bluegrass.
Bluegrass, we got food trucks everywhere too.
Yeah, so of course we know the disappointment after Game 1 and Game 2. We've reached a point now. These guys are obviously, they're not downing themselves. One, because you can't do that. One, you won 62 games. There's no reason to look the other way. The Blue Jackets, they don't have the experience as the Lightning do. They've been in this situation before. It's just a little different because of the season they had in the regular year. So,
after Game 2, I was in the locker room talking with some of the guys, and here's their reaction to now going down 0-2 to the Jackets.
It's tough. I mean, it just hasn't gone our way right now. I mean, it's not for lack of effort. Guys are working hard. We're just not working smart enough.
There's mistakes there, but they're playing good hockey. They're doing a good job. So, like I've said before, we just got to find a way to get chances and try to loosen up their D, I guess.
Losing 2 games at home is not the ideal situation, but like I said, we got a good group in this room, and we did a lot of good things in the regular season, and we know what to do to win, and just got to bring that to Game 3.
Oh, well, how about this stat? We've been talking about it the last 24 hours, but here it is again. Since 1952, there have been 4 teams, including the Lightning now, to have held the best record in the regular season and then have gone on to lose the first 2 games in their series in the first round. Now, out of these 3 teams prior to the Lightning, only one team, the 2001-2002 Detroit Red Wings, have came back to win that series, something to keep your eyes and ears on as we get ready for Game 3 in just a few minutes. All right, this now brings us to our Millionaire coolest play of the game from Game 2. Probably the only bright spot from Game 2 for Tampa Bay. Trailing 3-zip early in the third, the Lightning would finally get on the board, courtesy of Mikhail Sergachev. Able to fire right through traffic, would deflect off Marcus Dutavara's skate. A little puck luck on the both side. They catch a break. Of course, that was the only goal for the Lightning in Game 2, as they, of course, went on to lose Game 2 5-1.
So what's on the table? Here's how the series schedule breaks down. The Blue Jackets have shocked the world, taking both games in Tampa. Game 3, of course, tonight in Columbus on the road for the Bolts. Game 4 is Tuesday. So once the Bolts, of course, win one game, hopefully tonight in Columbus, or even both games, we'll have a Game 5 back here in the Bay on Friday.
All right, well, so not only are we looking at the schedule and the recent historic trends, but we're keeping the eyes to the sky of what's going to be happening here in the Bay Area. And it's starting to, wind's picking up here a little bit.
Yeah, Jason Adams is tracking the storm for us a little bit. And Jason, you didn't tell us if we needed rain jackets or anything.
I'm pretty sure I did. I'm pretty sure I told you to take the umbrella with you tonight to the park. We are talking about a line of thunderstorms, and this is the one we've been watching the last couple of days, saying Sunday night into Monday morning was when this line was expected, and it is definitely here. It's holding together too. So let's talk about timing for those of you here on the Nature Coast. Crystal River, by about 4 or 5 minutes, it's moving on shore from the Gulf. Spring Hill 7:21, Leesburg around 8:11. If you are in Clearwater or St. Petersburg trying to head out to the game tonight or the show tonight, we're looking at 7:52's arrival time here in St. Pete. That's when this line is coming in off of the Gulf, and there's the isolated potential for a waterspout or a strong damaging wind gust. That's a potential for any line of thunderstorms that comes in off of the Gulf, but I'm not expecting a widespread severe weather risk with this line. Sarasota 8:37, Anna Maria Island, Bradenton around 8:12 to 8:25, and Venice timing looks to be about 8:57 tonight. So you can keep up with these storms with me. You can download our Storm Shield app for free. That will alert you should a warning be issued tonight. Find me on Twitter at Jason Adams WFTS or Facebook Jason Adams Tampa. I'll be posting updates there consistently as we go through the next couple of hours. Guys, back out to you in the field.
All right, Jason, thanks. I'm going to let you know it was Brandon that actually left the umbrellas in the car. So, well, not all your fault.
Threw me under the bus. Thank you, John. Appreciate that.
Well, Straub Park picking up. We got fans behind us here, so we got about 15 minutes away until puck drops in Columbus. We still got a lot to get to before that. Coming up, more on the breaking news regarding Victor Heaven. We have Jay Retcher from WDAE coming up here in about a couple minutes to join us to talk more about this and give us a little preview of what he thinks will happen in Game 3.
Plus, a little history in the making. There's one Lightning staff member breaking barriers. We'll introduce you to the NHL's only full-time female Zamboni driver.
And now your chance to win tickets to Game 1 of Round 2 of the Lightning Advance. Tonight's clue word is net. Net, N-E-T, net. All you have to do is go to abcactionnews.com/quest to enter the contest and submit the clue word. Remember, that clue word is net. You'll find the official entry form and rules when you go to abcactionnews.com/ quest to enter.
This Quest for the Cup live stream is brought to you by Hungry Howie's Flavored Crust Pizza, Millionaire Air Conditioning and Heating, and Achieva Credit Union.
Good evening, this is Ashley. How can I make you a millionaire today?
My AC isn't working. Can I get somebody out here tonight?
We'll have one of our technicians right over.
How was work today?
It was good. I gotta go.
Right now, get 0% for 72 months. It's hard to stop a train. Millionaire, masters of comfort.
It's time to stop paying a high interest rate on your credit card. There's a better card out there waiting for you. Introducing the Achieva MasterCard. It's not a nickel and dime card, so go ahead. Transfer your balance from your current high rate card. There's no fee to transfer, no annual fee, and your rate can be as low as 2.2% until 2020. Because we care about you and what stays in your wallet. And that's good to know. Achieva and MasterCard. Banking for good.
And we're back in Straub Park. Our Hungry Howie's Flavored Crust cheesiest fan of the game. Tonight's cheesy fan is Jennifer Price. You can see her all decked out from head to toe in Lightning gear here inside Emily Arena. She's even sporting a Lightning beanie cap. You don't see those too often. That's pretty cool. Be sure to share your fan photos with us. Just look for our cheesy fan posts on Facebook.
And we're back here live at Straub Park. Fans now almost no open spaces here in the grass, Brandon.
Not at all.
But you still got some spots. Do you want to hang out in the trees maybe, or just sit up over on the other side of the grass?
Yeah, just bring a chair and come sit down, enjoy the game. They already have the screen set up. The music is bumping a little bit, so plenty of time to have some fun, right, on a Sunday.
This is the official Lightning watch party. They'll be at Sparkman Wharf coming up here for Game 4 later on this week. All right, now it's time in the show for our Achieva Credit Union check of the game. Let's first take a look at Ryan McDonough taking a shot from the blue line from Game 2. And what a save by Sergei Bobrovsky.
Wow.
Snags it out of the air. Flash into leather. But after that, tempers would start to flare. You don't see this very often, Brandon. Braden Point dropping the gloves.
Look at that.
John Cooper said he didn't envision this as a hard-hitting series, but it's certainly heading that way. This is your Achieva Credit Union check of the game.
Point trying to make an impact there in this game. We haven't seen too often. This season, the Lightning has broken several records. History is also being made with one of its Zamboni drivers, John.
Yeah, in fact, the only female driver, the full-time female driver in the NHL just happens to be right here in Tampa Bay. Our ABC Action News reporter Sean Daly has her story.
Hockey player Allison Murdoch grew up dreaming of someday starring on an NHL rink. Her wish came true.
They've been teaching me the last couple of years. I ended up doing my first game last year during the playoffs.
Talk about pressure.
Yeah, it was pretty intimidating.
Allison is the only full-time female Zamboni driver in the NHL. She was playing at a Lightning fantasy camp when someone asked if she wanted to be on the ice crew. When a coworker fell ill, she took the wheel.
It's more than just driving this thing around.
It's not just driving in circles, but knowing how much you need to cut, how much water you need to put down, all of the specifics like that.
ESPN recently did a story on Allison, who says more women playing ice hockey will mean more women driving Zambonis. She'll have plenty of fans during the playoffs.
So is it like easier or harder than driving a car?
Harder.
Harder than driving a car. Why?
Except you don't have other like crazy drivers around, so that's a plus.
In Tampa, Sean Daly, ABC Action News.
All right, welcome back here to Straub Park, the official Lightning watch party. John Sable alongside Brandon Baylor. We have a special guest with us, Jay Retcher, and you hear him on the radio from WDAE, breaking down some of this Lightning Blue Jackets series. And Jay, first off, no one saw the 0-2 hole coming. What happened?
I just think it was one of those things where the Lightning are trying to be too fancy. They got to get back to the nuts and bolts of their game. They got to make sure they're making those little plays and having confidence in themselves. They started game one really well. Sergei Bobrovsky really stood on his head and has played really well the last 5 periods. If they get back to just a simple game, I think they'll be all right tonight.
And how it's important to keep these emotions intact a little bit. This is a game where you don't want to go overboard and do too much, but how important is it to keep those emotions in check for game 3?
It's a great point, Brandon. I think the biggest thing here tonight, guys, is not about playing hard, it's about playing smart. And I think that's what Nikita Kucherov, he went a little overboard there and it cost him, but it's funny in sports at times where you lose a top player. In this case, you're going to lose 2 top players, and it kind of galvanizes the team. Look for that for the Lightning tonight.
Great segue, Jay, and talking about Victor Hedman. Maybe not that big of a surprise once we found out this morning from John Cooper at the optional morning skate that he was going to be a game-time decision, but now we know he's not going to be there. How does this affect this team?
Well, it's definitely going to make a big adjustment because you lose a Norris Trophy candidate. I mean, that's a big deal. But with that being said, he really hasn't played all that well in the first 2 games. So you're going to get Braden Coburn back in there. He's going to slot in on the 3rd pair with Jan Ruda. And a guy like Mikhail Sergachev is going to be tasked with the responsibility playing top 4D minutes with Dan Girardi. And, of course, you have that shutdown pair of McDonough and Chernak.
And you talk about the power play. It's been almost invisible this entire 2 games. How do they kind of ignite that here?
Well, it's going to be an adjustment now that Kucherov's out, so they're going to change it a little bit. Tyler Johnson's going to slot in there on the power play. He's probably going to go where Braden Point is in the middle, and then you're going to see Point kick out to the right side where Kucherov usually has. I'm expecting a big game not only from Tyler Johnson tonight. I think that added ice time is going to help him, but also Steven Stamkos. This is why you're the captain. This is where you step up. If they get an opportunity early on the man advantage, I expect him to cash in.
All right, real quick, you think they win?
I do think they win. I think this is the perfect situation. On the road, you play a simpler game. You worry about short passes and just getting the puck on net. You're not worried about those big fancy one-timer goals. I think this is a perfect recipe for success. I think Vasilevsky does a really good job. He bounces back. I think the Lightning win this thing and go back to Game 4.
All right, this is Jay Retcher. Thanks for your time, Jay. You can listen to him at WDAE every afternoon.
Appreciate it, Jay. Of course, we're still going to have some fun out here. That's the whole point of this whole thing. Having a little bit of fun, but the next official watch party moves back to Tampa. The Game 4 party will take place on Tuesday at the new Sparkman Wharf in Channelside, and party starts at 6. Well, let's talk about some of the keys for the game. Keeping these emotions intact, John. That's what Jay just mentioned here, how important that is.
Yeah, absolutely important. Now, we saw what happened with Kucherov, the frustrations getting the best of him. And you know what? You can't panic. If they get down by a goal, you cannot panic. We've seen them actually panic, a very uncharacteristic Lightning team in the way they've been playing the last 2 games. And also a crisper power play. But how about some just crisper passes? I mean, there's too many times these guys are not passing them really well. They're not getting in the neutral zone. They're not getting a lot of shots on net. It's just this completely different Lightning team that we have really not accustomed to seeing this season.
And then on the other side, we mentioned it in Game 2, you have to protect Andrei Vasilevsky. He's one of the best goalies in the league for a reason. If you protect him, that helps you win the game. Defense wins championships, we know that. When Vasi is great, this team wins. They have not shown that in the first 2 games just yet.
I almost wrapped it up here in Straub Park, but you know what, Brandon? We got another watch party coming up here on Tuesday for Game 4 on Channelside, new Sparkman Wharf. If you haven't been out there yet, great food and beverage options there. We'll be live there for the pregame show. The party there starts at 6 o'clock. Our show starts at 6:30. And we'll hopefully, if you guys can come out and say hello to Brandon and myself, we'll be there. And hopefully tonight, we'll talk about a Lightning win coming up on ABC Action News at 11.
There you go, a 2-1 series on Thunder Alley on Tuesday. Can't wait.
For Brandon Baylor, I'm John Sable. You've been watching the Quest for the Cup, streaming on ABCActionNews.com and, of course, on our streaming apps and as well as Facebook as well.
And don't forget
I was going to say, don't forget, watch ABC Action News tonight at 11.
We'll have the recap of Game 3, and like John said, hopefully a victory for you guys.
Thanks for watching.
It's time to stop paying a high interest rate on your credit card. There's a better card out there waiting for you. Introducing the Achieva MasterCard. It's not a nickel and dime card, so go ahead. Transfer your balance from your current high-rate card. There's no fee to transfer, no annual fee, and your rate can be as low as 2.2% until 2020. Because we care about you and what stays in your wallet. And that's good to know. Achieva and MasterCard. Banking for good.
Good evening, this is Ashley. How can I make you a millionaire today?
My AC isn't working. Can I get somebody out here tonight?
We'll have one of our technicians right over.
How was work today?
It was good. I gotta go.
Right now, get 0% for 72 months. It's hard to stop a train. Millionaire. Masters of Comfort.